We are the World Championship for professional drone racing teams. We are the legendary Drone Champions League. And welcome to the next stage of our World Championship tournament for 2025. I'm Matt Andrews. We have the best racers in the world. And this is the new DCL Eagle Cup. Earlier in 2025, we started our World Championship series with the brand new DCL Falcon Cup. That culminated in an amazing final in Abu Dhabi, and now it's time for the next stage. So let's meet the teams who are going to be competing in the Drone Champions League's Eagle Cup. We'll start with Raiden Racing, who are bringing in Batu, Flower Pig, Vicen Mayans, Yuki Hashimoto, IQ0 and Shane. Cyclone Racing, looking to get their first title of 2025, the Ice Cheetah, J-Box, Killian, Yayu, Zion FPV and Valprim. Spain proudly represented by SDT, the Spain drone team, Red Sheep, Silvio, Sali 1, Platon Air and Ion FPV. The wildcard team have been mixing things up in recent tournaments. They want to do even more. This time, it's Matteo, Nemuo, Gilbert, Danube, Astronaut, and the Bob. Phoenix Racing are the newest of these teams in the Drone Champions League, but we've seen some of these pilots many times before. It's Atakan, It's D, Trinks, Minjay, Dimsim, and Burkan. Quad Force 1. Here with Hyper, Propsicle, West FPV, NZM FPV, Kali FPV, and Annihilation Robo, who's new to the team. And completing our rosters, the China Dragons are back! Led by Zepita and Long XL, we've also got Xiaowen, WSQ, Chengwo, and Shishi. So those 7 teams are ready. Now we need to seed them for the cup, and then they'll be battling each other in an elimination series. So each team has nominated one of their pilots to race. Let's see what they do on our new track for 2025's Eagle Cup. So around Lax in Switzerland, where we've raced in real life before, we have a new arrangement for our season. And it is Valprim from Cyclone Racing who leads everybody towards the castle. Through a couple of these turns, and now we'll head to disappear around under this tunnel, though Sally One still got a sight of him, and Shane, actually, from Raiden, was between the two, as Sally One has now gone to the back, and oh, what a disaster for China Dragons on their return for 2025, as Zepita has dropped out of the race already. Here's Shane in second, weaving already onto the start of lap number 2 and losing a couple of places as Minjay from Phoenix and Hyper from Quad Force 1 just squeezed on the inside of him, sending Shane down to 4th. Cyclone still clear out in front by almost 0.7 of a second. He'll weave back into the castle. You leave it and come back in again. Now you've got to make that tricky set of turns before you even get to the Orca gates. There are 3 of those. You corkscrew the first 2 and do a hard right 180 on the third. It's still Valprim in the lead and by a much bigger gap now. It's almost a second stably. He's looking very solid here as he comes out of the castle and ducks back under. We've got Minjay in the chase for Phoenix, corkscrewing through the pair of the A2RL gates, except the second one. He hit that sent Minjay to the back. Oh, and it was going so well in the chase for him, but it did look like Valprim wasn't really caught. Instead, he wins it for Cyclone with Shane and Sally 1, then Hyper, Danube and Minjay in that order behind him. Sally 1, good to get back up in the third. That's the first mistake he made at the A2RL corkscrew. That's why he went down to the back. And Minjay, oh, he's corkscrewed so many gates so many times, but that one, that cost him second. And in fact, his team are now 6th in the seeding. So the teams will line up in the Eagle Cup like this. Cyclone winning that race means they get a bye in the first round. In the coming episodes, we'll show you Quad Force 1's battle with the wildcard team and Raiden from Japan against the China Dragons. But today, we're going to concentrate on SDT versus Phoenix, a best of 3 starting with Sally 1 and Red Sheep against Atakan and It's D. So 2 pilots from each team racing each other. SDT from Spain, they're the ones in green, and the new team, Phoenix, are in the light blue. Win this, you'll get 4 points for your team, then 3, 2, or 1 for coming third, second, or first, respectively. And Red Sheep is a long way behind. He's the youngest pilot in the DCL, but don't let that fool you. He is so confident and so good as well. That's why he's on the starting roster for SDT. Now just coming on to the start of lap number 2, and it is Phoenix in 1 and 2 at the moment, with about 4/10 between their pilots Atakan and It's D following him. And Sali 1, we saw in the last race, go to the back and then catch everybody up. So wait for it, as he is looming around the back of It's D. Can't afford to make any mistakes. It's D new into the DCL for 2025, unlike Atakan, who's raced with us previously on other teams. He still leads this one. His teammate is a little bit closer. Sali 1 is pretty close to him in 3rd. If it carries on like this through lap 3, it's exactly what Phoenix need, as they were the first team to be eliminated in the Falcon Cup, so they want to start with a win. Sali 1 getting caught on the corkscrew, which was exactly the same point that Minjay lost his 2nd place chase in the seeding race just now, but it hasn't stopped Sali 1 for long. Is he going to pinch 2nd from It's D? Oh, he had so much speed at the finish, and he was only 0.06 of a second behind him. So it is a 1 and 2 for Phoenix. 7 points to 3, led by Atakan. What a brilliant start. Here's It's D's view when he was between Sali 1 and his teammate. But then they had it pretty smooth. Sali 1, though, you saw how close he got at the end. If he hadn't clipped that corkscrew, he would almost certainly have had 2nd. Now the 2nd race, so the other 2 pilots from SDT, and they really needed that 7-point win over on Phoenix's side, as their 4th pilot isn't taking part. So Minjay has got to do all this by himself, but if there's anybody you want to have some confidence in, how about Minjay Kim? Unfortunately, just as I was praising up his chances, he's got into a real tangle and is very far behind. It's going to be a big catch-up from him, but let's see if he can do it. In the lead, it's young Platon Air, who is young Red Sheep's slightly older brother. And also flying in green, it's Silvio, the captain of SDT, who has seen these young pilots emerge and fly alongside him, both in our simulator races and our real-life ones too. Now, Silvio is out of that corkscrew on lap number 2 with no issues. Platon Air is almost 2.5 seconds ahead of him. There, the Orca corkscrew. You go corkscrew through the first 2 gates. That's where you go through the first one. Come over the top and fly in the same direction through the second. But then it's just a 180-degree turn to get out of there. Silvio through the tunnels of the castle. That one's claimed him. One of the snowboarding ramps here. Lax being the biggest snow park in Europe and a legendary place for snowboarders and skiers. And we have had many races around here as well, including the start of our World Championship Series a few years ago. It's Platon Air all alone and at the front, and Silvio's gonna make it too. That's gonna be 7 points for SDT. And unfortunately, with only 1 pilot, Minjay is getting just 2. Phoenix aren't getting anything else, so it's not even gonna be tied up. So they're gonna be 1 point behind. Well, what a great start to the Eagle Cup for Platon Air. Now, what is it about these A2RL corkscrews? Causing a few problems. You'll see Platon Air, no problems with that one whatsoever. Silvio on this corner of this ramp is trying to make a really tight turn. So let's go with our big heat. All 4 pilots from SDT and all 3 from Phoenix. There's still only 4, 3, 2 and 1 for the top 4 places respectively. It means either team can win this battle though. It's very crowded early in the first lap. Silvio just a little way behind It's D, and then a couple of tenths, and then pretty much everyone going through obstacles at the same time. A real test of concentration. Here is Sali 1. That is a beautifully flown corkscrew and out of there. This is smooth. You wouldn't have thought this man had bumped into a couple of obstacles already. That's super tight around the start of lap number 2. Yes, those mistakes earlier don't seem to be worrying him. Platon Air is trying to move up into 2nd. It's Minjay who's there at the moment. No, Platon Air's got him. There he is, moving past Minjay. And now as they weave back into the castle, we've got Sali 1, then Platon Air, or the other way round, moment to moment. Minjay in 3rd with It's D in the last of the scoring places. And then the other very strong pilots for SDT are just behind those 2 from Phoenix and Atakan, not featuring high enough just yet. Platon Air wanting to get the lead from his much more experienced teammates, but he could totally do it and has. And this is wonderful work from Platon Air, just a fractional correction there. Minjay is ready to take it from both of them though, out of there, and no! Hits the first of those 3 DCL arches. Another mistake at the end of the race. Oh. Instead, SDT coming first, second, and fourth, with Red Sheep picking up the point there, led by Sally1. And it's just It's D from Phoenix in the scoring places. Oh, Minjay, he nearly had them, but he just fractionally clips the middle part of the Orcas, and that ruined his turn, and that sent him into the first of the Archers because he was too wide. Phoenix got off to such a good start with that 7-3 win, but then it all escaped from them, and it ends up being 18 points to 11 in favour of SDT. So SDT will move on into the quarter-finals, whereas Phoenix, they're the first team to find themselves on the elimination bracket side. Again, they were the first team to be eliminated in the Falcon Cup earlier this year. They don't want to be the first team out of the Eagle Cup as well. In the next episode, Quad Force 1 from America will be showing if they are back on the form we know they can have, and the wildcard team are up against them and they're not scared of anybody. I've been Matt Andrews. Join us for all of that and more racing here in the DCL, and we'll see you always in the skies.